We are live to you with Singtel's PvP Esports Championship 2018, live to you from Singapore with our awesome audience who join us here at the Suntec City Exhibition and Conference Center in our Arena of Valor side of the tournament. One more game still to go. Then it'll be Dota 2 semi-finals time. Remember, there's a $300,000 prize pool across both games that we're playing for. Champions will be crowned tomorrow. We already know that Arena X are going to be in that grand final for Arena of Valor. We'll determine the other finalists in our losers bracket game that is going to start things off tomorrow. But we need to find an opponent to get into there. We got a little bit more Arena of Valor to do. Coming up in this best of one, two teams who both had great showings earlier today, winning games in the lower bracket matches earlier today. They have to win this one if they want to be back with us again tomorrow. For someone, this is their last stand, and one of the teams looking to get into tomorrow's games are Resurgence. Representing Malaysia, please welcome their national champions, Resurgence! Resurgence are the first team for our final Arena of Valor game today, and their opponents are Tamago. Your Singapore national champions, Tamago! Resurgence, Tamago. One of these teams makes it into tomorrow's, and for the other one it is the last stand now. They both have brilliant routes through the group stages. They're both hanging on to this tournament. Who makes it that step closer to the semi-finals tomorrow? We'll find out with Rene in the desk.
Thanks, Matt. The last match of day 2 at the PvP Esports Championship here in Singapore. And what a match it will be. My name is Rene, but alongside me on the desk are exactly the people whose picture you see when you look up knowledgeable in the dictionary. Are you ready? Last match?
Yes.
Super stoked.
I cannot really
What?
describe.
What do you expect me to see? I'm so ready. Wow.
You got like possibly one of our most biased group here because there is a clear favorite.
Ah, true. We decided to ignore you now since you will always say Tamago. You're right.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. You know what? You don't even need me, right?
Tamago versus Resurgence. Resurgence, obviously the team that had that rematch, they got back in, made sure that they actually win another match, eliminated another team, got in here. Tamago so far, the local heroes, the powerhouse of Singapore, they had a flawless way into this match. Still, they were never really part of the winner bracket due to how they got seeded in it. Who's going to take it?
Well, I know from our first match today, me and Riku, the Resurgence game that we saw, this is a much different team that was playing in the region beforehand. They are currently sitting at the lower of the bracket in their own region, but they now do have their player,
yes,
LCC2. LCC2. I don't know why. But yeah, kid's a prodigy. Just turned 16, now has joined the team here at the tournament, is a completely different looking team from what they were back in their home region. And I think for Tamago, that could be a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, Tamago has been a very, very strong team for Season 3. I mean, they are the representatives for AIC this coming year. And I'm so excited to see this matchup because little step back a little bit, back at Glory Cup where, you know, Tamago defeated Resurgence 4-2 in the grand finale.
Maybe they do again. Obviously, Tamago is one of the big topics here, but let's see what Resurgence has to say.
Hi, my name is Eugene. My in-game name is RSG Ares, and I'm playing for Team Resurgence. My team strength will be the ability to make decisions in-game quickly and decisively, to rotate, to outmaneuver the opponent team. Yeah. Basically, we have a scrim schedule every week. So basically, after dinner, we would just, because some of our teams are from Singapore, some of them are from Malaysia. So every night we will meet on Discord, and we'll just scrim whatever scrimmage we can find for the night. Then after the scrims, we would stay usually about an hour or so to discuss about our gameplay. PvP esports means a global stage for me and my team. It's a chance for us to play against the best teams from different regions, because at our local tournaments we are only competing within Malaysia, Singapore and Philippines. So with this opportunity we will be able to play with the best teams from other regions. The team we are looking forward to play against is Alpha X from Thailand, because we heard many good things about them and we would like to see how far we stand or what's the gap between us and them. Our expectation will not be very high. It will just be to have fun and try our best and see where it goes.
Expectations are not that high, but they would like to go up against Alpha X.
Yeah.
That means they actually need to exceed expectations then, because they need to win this.
Yeah, so they need to win this to proceed to even for the next stage, and hopefully they can, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of action happening, and I'm really excited to see how this turns out, because Tainted Ones versus Zays. That is probably my most excited matchup so far for this whole match itself.
Exactly, who can set the tempo for the squad. Early game has been proven to be the most important phase in the tournament or in a match. So having Tainted Ones and Zays, very, very prominent players from the MSP or Valiant server community, I'm pretty sure not only the audience will be excited, but also people, professional teams from our server.
Yeah, they still got a lot of work to do. Even if they do take this one, though, they do have to go against Monster Shield in the loser bracket final. So hopefully they can try and pick up some play here. They said decisiveness. We've seen a couple times where the team play hasn't been all there. So maybe they can shore that up from what we saw in the group stage and take this one home.
Best of one. One team will be eliminated and one team will go with us. Further onto the tournament, let's try to figure some more stuff out about Tamago.
Eugene Kong, also known as the mid laner for Team Tamago, because we will be playing for the group stage, where we will have to climb ourselves through either the winner bracket or the loser bracket. So we will work hard to fight for the better placing in the tournament. We train a lot every day, like 5 to 6 hours per day, and we take our time off by analyzing all the replays from different regions, as different regions meta is different from each other. So we try to adapt to their metas and play well against them. I'll be looking forward to fight against the Taiwan team because they are known for the consistency in all of the World National Games for AOV. The PvP esports tournament means stepping stones for Team Tamago, and we'll use this to gauge ourselves between different countries' teams.
That stepping stone could be more like a ladder or stairs upwards for success for Team Tamago. So far they did really, really well, managed all their games in a good fashion, make sure that they win. But now it's another match, another story every single time they start new.
Yeah, they started really shaky during the group stages, and I feel like that contributed to the fact that they changed rosters after Valor Cup Season 3. Now they have a different support this time around. It used to be BBTY, but BBTY moved up at this Dark Slayer lane, and now we get Rose on the support. So I'm really curious if this trend continues from their performance at the lower brackets.
Yeah, you're right. Day 1, they definitely looked a bit, worrisome and shaky, but Day 2, Rose stepped it up with the crash, and then also the main day 1 as well. Yesterday, stepped up again with the crash again, and today, yet again, I think they might have what it takes here.
So mainly the game plan sounds like get rid of the crash. That you're going against Rose.
I mean, it could be like that because Crash has been winning a lot of games lately.
Not only that, don't forget about the Lindis pick. I feel
Yeah.
like Tainted Ones and Zays would probably, actually not probably, surely they
Probably.
will contest with that one.
Yeah, it's likely going to be, as always, contested pick. It is Lindis. We've seen it pretty much non-stop here in our draft, so I don't think it's out of the question to say we're going to see it once again here at this do-or-die moment for both the teams.
Actually, there's another jungle option that Tamago could take. Take note that TMG is the type of team that likes to surprise people, and they were the only team from MSP that played Zill jungle, so that could appear here in our BO1.
It will probably be a surprise at some point because we had so many surprises today. Really, in terms of draft picks, we had more like the usual bands, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, look at this, something new.
Butterfly.
Something new, exciting.
Like Butterfly, for example, of course, in the last match. So, but we also learned that just banning that one hero that was successful for the team so far never really helped the team that tried to chase for the win.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking about...
It's hard when you give me a flat point, man.
Yeah,
You're making a statement.
I'm just happy to be right.
Yeah.
Oh, like, give me that moment of success.
But anyway, looking back at the group stages, it made me think of how TMG and RSG managed to adapt what they saw from Alpha X, and it seems to me that perhaps they could also go for the aggressive Mina route, and pair it up with another burst type of mid laner, perhaps maybe another Natalia, or maybe a Kriknak again?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Natalia, Kriknaks, and I do believe it is Natalia, Kriknak together with one more player. It is going to be Mina.
Yes.
Like you mentioned earlier, a lot of damage potential, a lot of ganking capabilities as well. And I feel like all of these players are pretty balanced. I would say Tainted Ones against we mentioned Zays, we have Linky against KZP that we saw earlier on. We have Love versus Jason now. The new thing is LCC versus Rose.
LCC versus Jason.
Yeah,
Jason was up as well, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think LCC was in the was good against Rose, but still, it's going to be a pretty tight matchup between the two, and hopefully one of them can walk away. Because I think that when we talk about Resurgence, we highlight LCC, and that's obviously going to be who needs continued consistent play that we've been seeing over the last 2 days and into the group stage. So for Resurgence, again, they got the second chance at life here by getting that rematch against Bigatron played off stream, and they were able to actually claim the victory there. So again, let's see if they can make the most out of it.
Do we expect all those big highlight plays? I mean, if we remember right, Love had that Quadra kill today already, which is like kind of going in with high expectations, right? It's like, we got that Quadra, do we do it again? Is there any chance for someone to really give that last push to his team to make sure that they win?
Like I said, it's always a team game, so like people need to come up and set plays. The team needs to have consistency when it comes to the fights and when they're going for those engages. So I think rather than looking at the individual players, it's how the team is going to cooperate with each other, because honestly, we saw a couple of times even in the last series where YR was able to get in a great position, but then team didn't follow on through. And honestly, that series could have been completely different. We could be playing Game 3 right now. Between Monster Shield and Alpha X. And you know what's also interesting too is all these teams look up toward Alpha X in particular. And I kind of want to see if anyone's going to try and adapt a little bit of their playstyle. Maybe we see some of the picks we saw last time that surprised us and start making their way into these other series.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of wins do come out when the team gets to objectives first, because usually you don't see a lot of, I mean, yeah, you see the kills, but when the kills don't happen, it's the objectives, right? You get the towers, you get the golems, and then you get the abyssal dragons as well. That's when you start to pick things up. The games get a little bit closer to the end, so we might see a very close matchup between these two teams.
But don't forget, Fizz, back at Glory Cup, it was 4-2. TMG looked really, really strong. But here's the plot twist. Zace used to be from Tamago at Glory Cup.
Info, plans, they got the intel.
Yeah, Rico with all that background.
Wow.
Wow, I love that.
Wow.
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 But yeah.
Emphasis is like, you let me look back, stop that now.
But going back to TMG, I think I did mention about Tainted Ones playing a little bit weird in terms of the jungle picks, but don't forget about Jason. Jason during Nationals played Joker as well, and they also play the Yorn top, so they also play marksman side laners, so I feel like in terms of dynamics, TMG has a lot on the table, but RSG, they seem to know a lot about TMG since they always face during tournaments and the MY and SG scene, so I'm very excited for this matchup.
I mean, there's always rivalry, right, between Singapore and Malaysia. We are brothers, I mean, and neighboring countries. So there's always rivalry when it comes to any sport, be it e-sport or whatever, Singapore versus Malaysia. So I think it's gonna be a bloodbath yet again.
Actually, I love the fact that you brought that up because when, Singapore represented their country at AWC, we've got a mix of players from RSG and TMG that have AWC experience.
Yeah, and you talk about, Tainted Ones and them. Those are the players that actually were stepping up at AWC and making big impacts in the matchups that they did actually take. I believe they did take the one victory against, I think it was Thailand actually, during the group stage. And that was a shock to everybody on the team. Now, again, that could have been a lack of respect toward their opponents and maybe not taking it seriously enough. But now you're coming back here, you have your opportunity to try and go against that region again if you're able to make it up through the loser bracket. So I think that's a lot of motivation.
I would like to get back to the point of Rico, like bringing that Joker. Was Joker played throughout the group phase? Because we didn't have him in any of the main event games so far.
It was only during the national finals in their respective regions to qualify for Valor Cup Season 3. So that was also like RSG and TMG are the dominating teams in their respective regions right now. Always 3-0s, 4-0s. But when they face each other, again, flashback, Glory Cup, 4-2.
Yeah. Okay, one more thing is also, remember there was one match in one game in a group stage where they hovered over the Joker.
Yes.
Yes, they almost picked it. I think they definitely have some plans here.
They have something for DC characters.
Yeah.
I mean, Tainted Ones played Batman way back as well.
Oh, please. I want to see some Batman. I really do.
I want to see all of them. I still wait
You
for
want
the
your-
one professional match where everyone is on a DC cap.
You just want the Justice League
Yeah.
composition.
We talked about this before.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, how did that go? It didn't end up.
It did.
I
well.
did.
I know, I never saw that.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
But even back in the NPT, we were like, when all the DC characters came out, it's like, that would look awesome.
Yeah.
Like all of them in the same line, but no one ever went for it. But we see the first ban coming in for Tamago.
Yeah, Mina actually getting taken away here right away. And honestly, like, we've seen it comes up in the bans sometimes, but usually it becomes the first pick. So interesting enough here to actually take that immediately. But Resurgence on the other side, the Crash already getting taken out.
Very understandable bans. These picks are enablers, but yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
You know what?
Yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense, and it will be banned out.
What about Kraken?
Cricknack.
The Kraken.
Cricknack next. Yeah, Cricknack. Most definitely is going to be the next ban since it looks like it. Or Valheim as well as Vita still in the pool.
Arum definitely an enabler for that pick potential. We don't want to see any more flicker snare plays. And it's easily executable.
Wow.
But so much respect onto
yeah,
Linky.
that's-
I understand this ban. TMG are target banning a lot here
There
for
is
Linky.
still so much, though, open for them to take here. And in response, Resurgence can actually take 2 of them on the reply. So, like, we have the Cricknack, we have the Lindis, we still have the Violet available. We just saw games where we saw a Lindis Violet composition still played. Malik, if you want that front line, because the Crush now taken away, that's a main source of engage if somebody wants to pick it up. Chognar, too, also. And
There you
in
go.
the end, yeah, so Cricknack is the hover. It has not been fully locked in as the ban would be expected, though, from Resurgence.
They want to go all
There we
out today. They want to go all out today. Balhan is still alive. I mean, still in the pool.
Yes.
We have Violet as well. Oh my, Zinio still in the pool as well. So I think they're gonna definitely go all out in this match because this is a best out of 1.
And this is scary, too, because pretty much whatever you take here, Resurgence is taking 2 pretty much, because now the Lindis, the Valheim does get locked in. Let's see if that priority picks off, because obviously now for Resurgence, it can go ahead, take a Lindis or the Violet.
Exactly. Remember the previous match we did, just as you said, Lindis Violet, first rotation for RSG. But I wonder if they're going to pick more front lines. I mean, Chognar is still open if they want to be a little bit more safe for their squad, but I'm pretty sure perhaps Violet could be taken for RSG.
Malik is still up as well.
Yeah, there's still a lot on the table here for Resurgence, and they kind of have to make a decision. What are you willing to take, but what are you going to be giving away? If you take the Lindis and that Violet, boom, Malik's going to get instantly locked in. You're going to get a front line that can look to try and deal with it. There is still also the Slims available. Usually we don't see it trickle down that far. We see none of those other bans come on through. The Slims could work really nice into the pick. Pretty much here on the side, and looks like there might have been a mistake during the draft, so we're going to check that out really quick.
Interesting. Actually, now that I look at the draft, it's like they're being pressured to pick a jungler immediately because that's a Valiant first pick.
It did not really surprise me to go for Valheim immediately. We saw that when he was not banned, he was mostly picked. Slims we saw on the previous match being really, really late. But still open, still up for grabs. We're not going for it. I'm kind of surprised that there was no one going so far for Mela. I saw him a lot throughout the whole day.
We don't know exactly. That might have been the plan here on the side of Resurgence in the first rotation, but we'll have to check out on stage, obviously, what's going on with the players and hopefully sort that out. It would make sense for them to kind of pick up the Malik as well as likely a Lindis or a Violet. You'd like to try and get that heavy engage. The Shock ultimate coming on through is a huge zoner, and we've seen that actually being played by Alpha X early on. They like to use that ultimate to actually separate the fights around the turrets, as well as Monster Shield did the same to Flipside Tactics in Game 1 of Day 1, where they pretty much just cut a side lane and then forced the objective with the Shock ultimate. So again, these teams say they look up toward Alpha X in these strong regions. Well, maybe they're going to try and play something like that here, as it is a do or die.
Yeah, it makes me think that TMG might draft a double marksman composition, so that means RSG either they would draft their own double marksman or they'd probably overwhelm TMG with a heavy die. Like we've seen marksman killers or hyper carry killers such as, at the top of my head, Omen, Ryoma, even an Irie for a really strong side lane. And I think RSG is perfect for that because LCC2 at Darkslayer lane is very effective.
You know what, you mentioned the Omen, and that didn't actually get banned here, but the Omens that have seeped through the draft in the ban phase, honestly, when they're picked up, I haven't seen them make a huge impact. Usually they're the focus on the side lane and actually a weakness at times. So if that is going to be the case, you do have to protect him a little so he can look to scale up and become that monster into the later half of the game. But again, we'll have to see what their plan is.
I think both Violet and Lindis were still open when we did that thing.
And
that's a combination that we saw a lot.
So,
yeah.
I feel like if they went for the Valheim first, most probably, I'm not sure if they're going to remake the draft or not, but usually I think the best case scenario would probably go for Malik as well as Lindis, but then that still applies that the fact that Violet is in the pool, like Riku mentioned earlier on, they might go for the double marksman.
The thing is, when you pick that Valheim, you want to have something else that can add CC to the table, something that can follow up, because usually it's either he'll land the stun and then a bunch of CC will be applied, or somebody will try and maneuver out of the Shock ultimate, and then he's there on the side waiting for that target to become available, and mainly just locking down the key member that they're targeting. So I think if you're smart on Resurgence, if they have to remake up the draft all the way to the 2 picks they were hovering, I think you take a Malik and then you take one of those marksmen we've been talking about, because you really don't want to give over the Shock ultimate as well as a Valheim, because it's just a devastating combo.
When you get those 2 marksmen on the opposing side of Valheim, what do you would go for to try to make sure that this is not the pick that's actually destroying your game, like having 2 marksmen on the other side? We talked about having 2 marksmen on both sides, which is kind of not what we saw today, if I'm not mistaken. So what other picks are available?
I did mention the side lane killers, but how about the mages? I mean, some you would actually think about who can dive into the backline, and Jinnar was the first thing that came into my head. We've seen a lot of really effective Jinnar plays during the group stages where they just practically zoned either the Valheim or the Violet, forced them back and not getting the best position to actually deal DPS for the squad. So aside from that, Flash is also open, but I think Flash hasn't been performing well for our MSP teams or Valiant server teams in general.
Yeah, no, the Flashes, we've seen them, you know, be able to get the Cyclone on down onto 3 members, but we talked about team coordination a lot on this desk. Usually no one follows up. And that's a key factor you need to have with the Flash, because you need to apply the extra bit of damage. Unless the Flash is insanely ahead, you're not going to be destroying the squishy targets right away. Usually it takes a little bit of time, but looks like we are getting ourselves back into the draft, and we'll see whether or not we have to remake. It looks like the Vans are remaining the same, so it wouldn't shock me if we're just resetting all the way up to Resurgence's first pick.
I mean, the same so far, but they're still going to take their time to... Okay, I think it's probably going to go with the same picks until the first pick for Tamago, so the bands would probably be the same throughout, maybe, because they're still...
Again, we'll have to see. It was Resurgence going down the timer all the way, so I expect that was the team that had the issue. Aram, of course, being the second band, so nothing too out of the ordinary. We'll see for sure. It looks like it is the same.
Yeah. It will be a full remake, so we should see Valheim. As far as I know, yes. So it should be the Valheim now as a first pick. Yeah, there we go. So we're back to where we left off.
So Resurgence have an extra minute to pretty much decide what they want to run until this Valheim. They won't be able to do that one again, because that would likely get them into some trouble. Ooh, it seems like the consensus... Oh, wow. Wow. No way. Okay, so Resurgence are kind of betting on that Tamago would not run both Valheim, Lindis, and Violet. Might be a little bit ridiculous. I kind of like the idea, because now you got a lot of protection for the one carry you will get later on into the draft.
Exactly. I really love this draft because RSG is just taking a lot of protection for their potential double marksman composition. So with that said, they respond with a hover of a potentially aggressive style of their own.
The dive in this is ridiculous, because if the Cyclone goes on down and catches 1 or 2 members, then the Shock is available. Those 2 likely going to get CC'd to death.
I think the fact that they're probably going to know that, you know, Violet is still in the pool, Lindis is still in the pool, they need to find a way to catch them all the way from behind.
Honestly, Resurgence, because the Valheim was already shown, and like we mentioned, they're likely not going to be picking 3 marksmen in their composition, they can hold off the Violet or Lindis pick until the very end. You might as well pick up the other priorities that you want right away and take it away from Tamago.
It's a mind games right here.
This is pretty much kind of what we saw back at AWC in the final between Korea and Thailand, because what ended up happening, we saw a bunch of bands targeted toward a specific role and then a bunch of variation. Looks like Resurgence, they say, hey, if you're going to have one of the marksmen, we don't want you to have the Lindis. We'd rather have that on our side.
Yeah, so much respect, and they were afraid to let that Lindis pick at last rotation. So might as well play safe, get it right now, and blind pick a mid lane for yourself.
Tamago, though, if they go with this Lumber, this is a heavy, we're looking for a 5-man team fight at all times. This is a team that isn't going to be spread apart too much onto the map, because they have to deal with this Zenial, and really, there isn't a whole lot of options you can really go to. You really, for Resurgence, you got to be a little bit concerned, because you got to protect this Zenial. If the Zenial falls behind and isn't a split pushing power, it really kind of destroys the idea of having him on your team. Sure, you get that shield with the ultimate, but you like to have him in a side lane pressuring. Slims, this is some nice follow-up. It gives you some opportunity to look for picks, especially if you're going alongside that Valheim. It's easy CC follow-up.
And it's a tainted 1 sim. Slims.
It's a 3-man Lumber, and as well as the Slims and the Flash. It's going to be very, very explosive early game, especially when that level 4 hits. Now, Resurgence, what are your options? You have Jinnar, or if you want to play it safe, Crixie, or you can have the Kali, which has been a very common pick during the group stages, rather not common, a situational pick.
Honestly, you'd like something with a little bit of mobility here because you need to be able to clear the zone, because if this mage gets taken down immediately during the fights, Resurgence lose. Simple as that. Don't have your mage. It's hard for the turnaround to come on through. Maybe you can separate with the Lindis, but we'll have to see.
We got this. It's Butterfly.
This I like.
Nice. Also mobility.
Tulin does make sense. You do have that blink available, can still do a lot of damage. You can also pick off low health targets with the Thunderbird. So actually from Resurgence, this is a nice option. Keep the Tulin safe, and you should be able to fight here. It really depends though. Lindis is going to be the primary target from Tamago because they know they won't be able to get that Tulin.
Predictions.
No.
I know that we have been pretty good so far throughout the whole tournament.
Well, usually, because we're always split, so at least one person on the desk is right.
That's the tact. Don't spoil that. That was
Sorry,
the tactic to make sure that we can always say like that was kind of right. Obviously, I don't need to ask.
No, wait. I might want to change my mind here because I feel like the drafts are pretty even so far because the Lindis have been having
Singapore falling apart, confirmed by Athens.
Don't make me do this. It's really hard for me to choose between these two teams as well because they do have. I feel a little bit emotional because they do have some of my friends on us on the side of Resurgence for that the organization. So I'm kind of rooting for them as well. But I think I'm probably
don't make him choose.
Go down the desk. We'll get back to you.
Ephes, you're out.
Thank you.
All good. You're out. Next.
Wow.
I'm gonna say, Resurgence, because of the Sentinel, it offers a lot of split push and as well as 4v5 potential. So if they get that execution right, then I think RC could win.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Resurgence just because of the teams. We haven't been able to see the kind of coordination that we've been needing for this composition to work.
I'm going to go Tamago.
Someone's got to go Tamago.
Too late now. Too late. I will pick up Tamago.
Just...
I need to pick up Tamago because someone has to support the local powerhouse. I'm not okay with you guys, really. I have no clue what you're doing. Yeah, we had all of that set up. Tamago did great games, and you're not showing any belief here for the team playing in front of their whole crowd.
You're just trying to play to the crowd, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Like, what's that so obvious?
A little bit.
All right, we're getting ready. Last match of Arena Arvella here on the PvP Esports Championship. It is time for Rip and Sujay to bring you all the action.
How's it going, Renee? Thank you. I'm Rip with Sujay. It's time for the last match of the day for Arena Arvella, as you just mentioned. Loser bracket, loser goes home. Resurgence and Tamago. Seems like a pretty crazy composition. Tamago here, so much stuns, but the other side, you've got that Chalk, or could maybe, just say, forget about all that.
Yeah, FaZe, I got your back, man. I'm rooting for Tamago as well. They have the late game comp, though. They have to survive the early game composition that Resurgence has drafted. The Zenio, the Ryoma, the Lindis, the Tulin, those are all extremely strong in the early game. So if they can survive to late game, get that Valheim scaled up along with the Flash and the Slims, I think they're in a good position.
Well, here comes the classic, the invade on both sides. But oh my gosh, Jason getting caught out early here. Resurgence almost had to pick up it while going in for this invade.
Yeah, nice trade there by Tainted and his squad. They're going to trade jungles, and they're kind of ahead. They're the ones that traded first, so that's going to give them a rotation advantage. Jason's going to distract a little bit, but he's got to be a little careful.
Exactly. Jason, we've seen him do this distraction here in the jungle very early a couple times. Doesn't really ever really pay off for him. You see here, KZP, he did so much work with that Flash previously, and right now Resurgence is just going to rotate back, take their time.
Yeah, nice there. They take most of the jungle. Tainted is the one that wants to get ahead. Ooh. If he lands really good flying spears, they have a nice combo there. They have the Valheim with his stuns, Lumber with the Earth Splitter, and Malik with the Shock. I mean, all 5 of the heroes that Tamago has can combo very well.
Yeah, a little energy surge there, trying to catch him off guard. Pinwheel there from LCC on Jason. Just back and forth action, little pokes here and there. And right now you see the rotation up to top lane. They're going to close in on BBTY. Can they get energy surge? Just barely clips him at the end of it. Not enough to matter.
Yeah, nice positioning there. You saw BBTY. He knew that the team's gonna rotate because Tulin normally wins the mid lane and they rotate the top. And he put himself against the bush at the edge of the map, and that's the safest position to be as a side laner.
Yeah, he caught that flying spear. There goes Lumber in after as well. And KZP doing a little bit more damage. Linky falling down half-life. Another spear's going to hit, though. And here comes Flash to dash with the Mach Punch after, but not enough damage. Just a little pixel there for Linky to survive with. And here comes Daze. You got to be careful. Tana one getting chunked a little bit. Nice dodge there from Eris on the flying spear.
That was so close. If Rose there was able to jump in and charge on to Tulane, that would have secured the kill, and that was their chance. But now, because they got Resurgence low, Tamago has the map control.
Yeah, they had the map control, but interesting choice to decide not to go for the dragon. You know, they knew that they had gotten Linky very low, and they had like a couple man advantage. Tried to push it down low, but still didn't decide to go for that dragon there.
Yeah, they have to reset, because if they don't reset and they're low health like that, with Jason being low a little bit, it could result in them giving up the dragon, but they still maintaining the river control here, and the 3-man rotation with KZP, Jason, and Tainted is going to do just that.
Exactly, and here we go, looking back, making sure they're at this goal, and they got the timers on the jungle, so they know that it's time for them to rotate back down there. Good job so far, but you can see right now a lot of members of Tamago in this bottom jungle, maybe positioning for that dragon still.
Yeah, they have to stay on the dragon side of the map. That's what good teams do, and you can see both teams are trying to exert that mid-map control. And look at KZP jumping in there, and wow, Linky is actually going to jump right on top of him.
Yeah, tons of damage. Here comes the Cyclone. He's got Tainted One behind him. No flying spear comes out. There it is, just misses everybody though, unfortunate.
That was very smart by Linky there, be able to basically jump across the wall there to basically jump onto where he expected KZP to be.
Yeah, and because that Resurgence is now going to go for this dragon, and you see Tamago way out of position. This is going to be a free first Abyssal Dragon for Team Resurgence.
Yeah, looking really good to Resurgence. They have the early game comp, so they should be the ones winning the early game. And interesting thing that KZP finished it Gilded Greaves first as his item instead of trying to get some more damage. So he knows he's in it for the long game. He doesn't want to get CC'd, so he wants to make sure he survives as a Flash.
Yeah, it's a very interesting choice. As you mentioned, RSG trying to win this early game, so to play for long game, kind of risky, but something that they need to do here.
Yeah, let's see what Tini can do with this. Nice cutting the wave here. That means Love is going to be at risk. He does have his ultimate up though, but Lumber can take him out of it with the
they're
Rampage.
Thinking about going in though. And look at this right now. They're closing on. They're going to tower dive Mally to try to avoid it. They're going to try to juggle aggro, but you see the minion wave, and there it is. The Earth Split, and Love is in big trouble. He is going to go down. BBTY gets the first blood.
But they're going to trade across the map. Resurgence is going to get the first blood onto Jason, but Tamago is the one that does get the tower though, and there's no trade for the bot tower from Resurgence there, so really good play for Tamago so far.
Yeah, well done. And you see the Valiant of the BBTY still pushing on the next tower, that tier 2 tower, and you can see the fight here in mid lane, and there's that lightning trap from Lincoln, reposition himself, well done, keep himself out of harm's way. And they do get the tier 2 tower as well in the top lane.
Yeah, that is huge there. Tainted One and BBTY, both of them together are just such a powerful combo. I do like that Rose has a flicker instead of a heal on the Lumber. That means he can flicker ultimate with the Earth Splitter. So I'll be curious to see if he's going to decide to do that, because that's going to be a very huge play for Tamago. And look at the lead. They have the tower lead, but the gold lead is not that decisive yet.
Yeah, not just yet. You see KZP there using that super speed from Flash, but earlier Eris, he was repositioning himself just for the return of Flash. So got to be a little bit careful about that super speed.
Yeah, let's see how. Look at the rotation down the dragon. Beautiful. Tamago knows dragon's about to spawn in 10 seconds here, and all 4 members are looking to get a gank on LCC. He is at risk right now.
But they got to watch out though, because Resurgence all around here, and oh man, Jason is deep, Rose is deep, and here comes Resurgence to close in on him. Can they get the start of the Earth Spirit just to help him disengage? But you see Eris closing from the bottom as well. Team trying to get out of there. Here comes the shock to escape. And well done. Now they're closing on Eris. Eris running for his life. Going to make it out to super speed. Not going to be enough damage. Even with the Cyclone. And on Zaze is very low as well. And oh my god, the damage coming out. But BBTY just barely escaping. And oh my god, now here we go. 10-1 eating the respectable ire. LCC getting the kill. And they're turning things around now.
That was a crazy counter engage there. We saw Tamago take the first kill, and then the counter engage and the rotation by Lee CC basically helped him secure that fight, and now they're gonna get the Abyssal Dragon. But the Zenio ultimate, you gotta say Love, he did a perfect Angelic Splendor just in time there to help turn the tide, and that's exactly what Riku talked about on the desk. He can easily turn a bad fight into a fight that's going to go in their favor, and that's exactly what happened for Resurgence.
You gotta watch out for Resurgence now, bringing it back, goal lead now back in their favor. They've got the 2 Abyssal Dragons as well, and they're starting to catch up on some towers. They got one of them down.
Yeah, and we saw there, I mean, Rose did a good job. He had a nice Earth Splitter ultimate there that allowed his team to then rotate, and then they jumped onto the Chognar. But I wish they need to not focus the Chognar as much. They got to focus more the damage carries, because Chognar is their support, so they got to be a little careful with their focus.
Yeah, they're chasing in now. Rose in full retreat. Has to get out there. Lands the flag spear on Zaze though, and that's what they want, but here comes the shock a little bit later in combo with the Earthquake, just missing actually. And now Resurgence gonna have a time to try to engage back if they want to, but they decide not to, it looks like.
Yeah, Ares had a perfect chaos protection there. Did nullify the shock ultimate and the Earth Splitter. But when the Flying Spear landed on Z's though, that's your time to use the shock ultimate. They had a chance to basically kill Z's and jump on us, so they need to make sure they combo here, or else Tamago is gonna struggle a little bit, because every time you land a spear at that range, it makes the sun last so much longer.
Exactly, massive time. Look at them rotating up top, potentially trying to gank here on BBTY. But you see Tamago there repositioning, ready to try to defend against this 4-man gank.
Yeah, right now Resurgence is ahead of the gold, but you know BBTY is going to start to scale here into the late game once he starts getting his Valheim build that he is so known for with so much CC, and that's what Resurgence has to be careful of.
Oh my gosh, the damage route, KZP taking so much damage off of Linky there with that flash and super speed with the Mach Punch. And Tana1, he actually did a lot of just auto attack damage to the Chogner just to chop him down a little bit, make him a little bit ineffective.
Yeah, that's one thing Aris may need to work on a little bit. He kind of tends to overly position himself, which makes him a target for his enemies. So as Chogner, he's got to make sure that he's not basically taking free poke from the Slims and the Valheim here.
Yeah, Rose a little out of position here. Able to get out of there though, not too much damage. The Abyssal Dragon is coming up there. On BBTY chunking down Ares, and that's exactly what you mentioned. And you see LCC trying to come up to help, but oh my god, it might be slightly out of position. There's the shock behind it. And right now, so much damage. Ares having to retreat. LCC also extremely low, but Rose trying to retreat, doesn't get to, because Zeepy is going to get a kill on Linky, cleaning up down bot as well. And Love gets the kill on Rose.
Yeah, although BBTY was able to help get the kill onto Ryoma, Tainted One was focused down 3 versus 2 there. They lost the fight, but look,
nice.
KZP with the play there. Beautiful.
And here comes Zaze though from the bottom. The shot going up top. But you can see KZP and Zaze battling it out, and the Lunar Champion gonna close it out, and now turning back on Love. Can Love survive? Not gonna happen. And here's BBTY chunking down Zaze. Can he get the kill on it though? Zaze in the push! Oh my god, Zaze, you're a monster!
Wow, beautiful play by Z's there, and the aggression from BBTY. That's what he's doing on the Valheim. I thought he had it, but Z's able to run away and activate the Lunar Champion just in time to secure the kill and out DPS the Valheim. That's what Valheim weaks. He doesn't do a lot of burst damage. Doesn't do as much damage as a Lindis there. So if you fight him back and your range, you're in a good spot.
JC Rose coming through the jungle here. The Ryoma is there. Tana1 trying to battle it out. Ares still in position though, and this 3-on-2 right here, they're in pretty good position if they want to try to engage her. Ares in full retreat, and you can see the spear just missing.
Yeah, that's what a nice dodge there by Ares. And the key is they have to protect Tana1 every time in these fights there. When Tana1 falls, they basically win the fight, so they gotta be very careful there, because without Slims in the fight, you know, your highest damage dealer is going to be knocked out, and they got to be careful and protect him a little better.
Yeah, KZP with the flash does decent damage as well, but not quite as enough compared to Tainted One.
Yeah, let's see how they're going to react here. They have river control here. Oh, Flying Spear is going to be missed a little bit. KZP with the poke. We know he's very aggressive on his flash. Yeah, he's got to be careful though. Don't make sure he doesn't take too much damage.
A little Cleveland LCC, the spear the wrong direction. You saw him right now. Just maybe check if anyone else in that brush.
Oh no!
But oh my gosh, Spectre out taking so much damage off Tana1. Tana1's gonna drop here. Zaze gets him, and oh my goodness, the tower's gonna drop. Now it's gonna be 4-on-2 up here. Shock to try to escape, but Rose is left behind. Just gonna get killed as well. And now 9-5 lead for Resurgence. Not looking good for Tamago right now.
It was bad positioning by Tana1 there. Nice Whirling Blade stun from LCC there, and he landed a perfect Spectral Art, doing so much damage on the entire team. And that's something, as Slims, you got to be careful. A one combo from Ryoma can easily kill any of the hyper carriers, so he got to make sure he's positioned away from the Whirling Blade stun, because if that happens again, he's gonna die, even with the protection.
LCC gets dunked on though. KZP helping with Jason. Now they try to engage with the Dark Blade. They're a little bit too late though, and Zaze is gonna help close it out. But now it's 3 versus 4 here. Can they make something happen? This is pretty dangerous. They are a little bit low for that Dark Slayer though. And KZP gonna go in. Here comes the shock on top. Beautiful shot. And the bloodbath from Zaze. Oh my goodness. Can they close out Ares though? Ares tanky. BBTY gonna get chunkier. Oh my god, everybody's so low. Close them out. There you go. BBTY with the jukes. But here we go. Can they find Ares before the recall?
Oh, yes! He does.
Oh my goodness, TMG returning the favor. And now
they missed the cleave. He misses the cleave though, but BBTY is right there. He has a speed boost. He's going to be able to get onto Ares, and he's going to be one dead elephant there. But honestly, Jason K and BBTY are the MVPs of that fight. The way that they're able to aggression, along with KZP's aggression from the flash there. A perfect shock ultimate hits 3 people. They secure the kill on Z's, and then BBT then kills gets love, and just basically kites him like crazy. That's where Valheim shines, and that's what I was worried about here when it comes to late game. Tamago just has a much better late game composition, but man, a way to turn around the fight there. That was an uneven advance. It was a 3 versus 4, and they still won. That was amazing.
Right, and they had the Slayer too. And here we go, another fight breaking out here. KZP takes so much damage while diving in there. And oh my god, speaking of so much damage, BBTY helping out, but oh no, gets taken out. LCC now closing out on the Lumber as well. KZP and Tainted trying to retreat. A double kill for Zaze. Zaze and KZP and Tainted are going to be the big damage dealers. Beautiful dodge. LCC trying to find Tainted and he got him with the whale bit of shock, trying to save him time, but not there. And LCC now dunking on Jason, the entire team, and what a turn from Resurgence. Can they just tank this tower? They don't even want to. They've got the Drake from the Slayer.
Yeah, what a nice turnaround there with the Drake being dropped on the bot lane. Now they're pushing both lanes. And Tainted, he's got to land these flying spears. That's like the 3rd flying spear he's missed at such a close range. That could have instantly ended LCC's life there. But because he missed that and made that mechanical misplay, that completely turned against him. And then BBTY just got focused so quickly.
Here's the death timers. You can see now just 3 members up. A couple seconds left before. Trying to defend here against the core. And oh my gosh, big cycle lands on Ares. And Splash is so low, he's got to retreat. Lumber low as well. Rose is gonna fall here. But you can see so many members of Team Resurgence extremely low. Can they survive or can they get out? Love is stunned there. There you go. Finally, can they turn around? Will they chase? They're gonna try. Look at this. This could turn things around here drastically.
The minion saves a life there because one stun would have ended them. And then this is the key here. I'm waiting on BBTY and Tainted One. They have to be on the same page. Tainted One has to land these flying spears. He's missing too many of them, and that's the win condition of Slims there. If you play Slims, you don't land those stuns, then your team's in a really bad position. He's got to also stay in the fight with his team. If his team is committing, he also needs to commit, and this is something that we don't, it's not what we see of Tamago here. They normally have great synergy and on the same page, and if they continue to play like this, they're going to give Resurgence a chance to come right back in it because they have the late game comp. They're the ones that should win this game, late game.
And you can see now the push down the top lane, just chunking away. Another high ground tower gonna drop. You see Rose trying to defend against the miniwave, not gonna be enough to matter though. So much damage coming out of Resurgence at this point. Shock for the engage, nice attempt, but a little bit too late again. Those shocks have just been slightly too late each and every time.
Yeah, it has been a little too late, and he's got to combo it because, again, Lumber with the Shock Ultimate, that's going to be devastating, especially if the Challenger does not have Chaos Protection up. So you have to be aware of when the Chaos Protection is up because that's going to completely counter both the Malik and the Lumber Ultimate there. And what I would love Tamago do is, you know, if they can combo Flash, Malik, and Lumber Ultimate together, that's going to be GG in a team fight.
Yeah, look at them. This is a huge bait. Jason may get caught out here. I don't know if his Shock is up. Dangerous position. And here comes KZP to chunk Licky down behind it. Shock to escape a little late. And here comes Tamago turning things around and destroys Ace. Beautiful placement, beautiful focus. Now they're going to come in. Can they get Ares? Can they land a spear on anyone? Licky in full retreat. The spear misses again.
Tainted.
But it's still, look, you got to watch out. Daniel can still come back in potentially later. KZP, Cyclone, gonna miss everyone as well.
No, it does not. Man, a lot of abilities are being missed. I don't know if they're nervous or what, but they're missing a lot of mechanical abilities here, and that's something you can't do as a pro because it's going to make or break a lot of your team fights.
They've got one minion here, and you got to see BBTY is not with him. He's got to defend the base, make sure these waves don't get pushed up, and meanwhile, they're going to try to get a high ground tower.
There we go.
With the spear, and there's the Shock on top of it, but oh my gosh, huge pop-up. They've got the high ground tower very low, but not enough, but there it is, finally going down. Jason now, can he make it out? Linky's extremely low. Fly Spear missing everybody again. Unfortunate, but they get one high ground tower. Beautiful return there. BBTY still in the base, clearing it out. And you can see that other high ground tower for Tamago extremely low, but this game extremely close right now.
Yeah, the next fight is basically going to determine the game here. Tainted is fed. Tamago is right back in this game. They have the gold lead now, even though they're below in deaths. And the key here is, again, landing these abilities and making sure they eliminate Z's first, because that fight, they want it because they eliminate Linus immediately.
Gotta watch out. He tries to land spear and again, just missing. KZP in there, and he's getting chunked.
Whoa.
Can he make it out in time? He's gonna be able to air it very low. You gotta be careful. Spear's gonna land on Licky. Are they gonna dive into that bush? They don't even see it.
They don't see him.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was their opportunity to come ahead. And oh my goodness, LCC with the plays from the back, getting the kill there. That is massive. Tainted One's in trouble.
Yeah, Shock to land LCC though. They're going to get him as well. And now Licky very low. He's going to be low. He barely escaped. Tainted One far away. Got to watch it for Ares on the side as well. And look at this. RSG in trouble. Love's gonna fall. Can they get the spear? And Zaze is gonna fall as well. And TMG turning things around here. Wave still pretty far away from the base. They have some time to make a play.
Yeah, they can actually end it right now. Look at the respawn timer. It's 20, 30, 40 seconds. This is their chance to end it. All they have is Tulin and Chognar. That's an easy combo there. They have BBTY. They have so many stuns. If they can get the kill on Tulin here, Linky can fall and they can end the game here. That's what they want to do.
Yeah,
where's Tainted? He's got to get in this fight here.
Yeah, LCC 12 seconds. Here's the shot. They're going to try to close down Lumber. They're going to chase it on Eric. The Chaos Blade and pushing him away. He's running for his life, building some time. He's trying to buy time. And Linky is going to get a kill. Oh my God, it's unfortunate. Oh my God, but they had the Enraged Dragon, so he's still alive. It's okay.
They have to back off at this point, though. They have to back off. Flash is not with them. They're all rotating. All are up here. They should take the Abyssal Dragon, but they're not going to have time, actually. They cannot. I mean, not the Abyssal, the Dark Slayer, but they're not going to have the time, so they have to reset. And then, again, the next fight will determine who's going to win here. But so far, right now, the way that they're protecting Tainted 1 was beautiful, because LCC came from the back line, killed KZP, and then he jumped onto Tainted 1, and the entire team supported him. Jason K had a perfect shot that basically CC'd down Ryoma, and then got the kill.
Oh, man, the spear just missing that time. Just a pixel. Here we go, Iron Blast missing as well. And you see the mini wave coming down middle. They may have to retreat to base here. Can't let it go wild. You see Valheim down at the bottom lane, in the middle lane with the Ryoma. And here comes TG. They have to retreat a little bit. Yeah, they're fighting
right now. Ryoma is getting caught by BBTY. He's getting caught. Let's see if BBTY can secure the kill onto him. And he does! BBTY does secure the kill. Let's see.
Yeah, and you can see the Angelic Spread is still far away. Here comes Linky. The shock's coming down as well, and now this fight is critical. KZP goes down, though, and TMG in big trouble right now. Here comes Linky, taking so much damage. Everyone's so low. Tainted 1 gets Linky, but everyone else is starting to fall. Tainted 1 and Rose got to back out here. Can they stay alive for the defense? That is the question. They are running back to base. This is going to be so close, but it looks like Resurgence has a huge advantage here.
Oh,
Zane's going to get Tainted 1. It looks like this might be it. Oh, wait a second. Last chance. Tainted 1's still alive. Did he have the
Zaze with the carry. This Lindis play has been phenomenal. And they turn around like that. When BBT 1v1 the Ryoma, and then they engaged, and then the Zenio came just in time. They didn't even trade because BBT was not in that fight. And they ended like that. What a game for Resurgence here.
Beautiful stuff. Zaze again. The man to watch. What an incredible game. But Zaze pulling through down the wire.
That was insane, and that just shows you, even though you have the late game comp, if you don't have the synergy to fight together, that was Tamago's game to win and their game to lose. And unfortunately, they lost, but in epic fashion. The best game I've seen so far here at the PvP Esports Championships in Arena of Valor.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt, the best game we've seen. So close, and even after the BBTY
BBT 1v1 LCC, they should have won. It was a 5 versus 1. They should have waited for Valheim. The reason why Valheim works so well is when you're with your team, he offers so much extra CC, and the fact that they engaged without him allowed Resurgence to resurge from that fight and win.
Nice. Very nice. Well done. The wordplay. Oh my gosh. Resurgence, though, gonna be advancing to the lower bracket final tomorrow. They are staying alive. Tamago, unfortunately, has to go home with 4th place here.
Hey, you still made it top 4, though. Top 4 is actually not bad.
Of course.
That's not bad at all.
And of course, that means that Resurgence will be going up against
Monster Shield
tomorrow. But that does it for us here today. We're going to send it back to the desk. Renee, take it away.
Thanks, guys. That was exciting to listen to. Seeing it, listen to the cast. What a game. Resurgence takes down Tamago, basically forcing their playstyle.
I'm sorry, my nose is running, my eyes are watering up.
I saw Tamago going break from the objectives. They managed to get 3 towers early in the game. They were in their comfort zone. And it was Resurgence like, okay, then we just force our playstyle, need to adapt to it. And it worked out in the end, even if it was really close and messy in between.
Yeah, I'm going to speak for all 3 of us, Renee. What the hell was that? That was one of the messiest games of Arena of Valor I have ever witnessed. There were times where Resurgence was running away when they had a man advantage during a team fight. When they have a Zenyo, there was times where Tamago were trying to force plays that they really didn't need to force. There were times where they were diving underneath the tower. Honestly, if they didn't dive underneath that tower in mid lane back when they were trying to run it back down mid, this likely would have been their game if they were patient, but it was rushed. They were trying to force the game. There's just so much that happened that game.
Yeah, even if you say it was messy, it was just very, very exciting. I mean, early game, you did mention that Tamago really focused on top side just to give Valheim that space. But the problem was I felt like Resurgence adjusted accordingly and focused bot side in return, and that's why they managed to equalize the gold consistently.
This fight right here, really it looked like Tamago had it. And the other issue was, we talk about the Zenyo needing to join these fights. There were so many times that I know we were yelling over on the side of the stage, where is the Zenyo ultimate? Finally, we started to see it finally here at 8 minutes where Love was able to now join in onto the fights, and you saw it pay off as Tamago were not ready for it. Tainted One's also positioning was questionable during some times, but then there were these back and forth fights left and right. And a lot of times it was actually Tamago starting up the fights. But the thing was, we talked about the Tulin being able to play safe with that pick and get out and dodge. And there were even times there where, honestly, it shouldn't have been as close as it was.
You have to
This
understand.
right here, this is the fight that really made me angry.
But you have to understand, this is a best out of one. So they really have to be cautious with their decision making. But this is where KZP went ham. The damage was as a Malek as well with the ultimate. But they still managed to get a kill. And also, Aris, I felt like he should just died there and went back to base, respawned to your team.
Well, the thing was during this whole fight was Resurgence. Honestly, when they saw the 3 members there, pull the trigger, go for that fight, because the reason they actually lost this and it was so impactful with that Shock ultimate was they were getting chipped down as they were running away from the Dark Slayer that they just secured. Even here, this final hold coming on in from Tamago, they were able to punish Resurgence to try and end this game early, and we'll likely see them come back again, because look at those 3 members so low on the side of Resurgence.
Yeah, there were so many times, just as you mentioned, RSG could have closed out the game, but
Yeah.
Tamago played it so well, and right now BBTY had a lot of shining moments, but not so shining moments. There you go.
Tamago. Already, they go ahead, they try and take down the tower. Sure, you got the high ground tower, you should be happy right now, but they continue to get greedy and dive underneath the top side tower. You don't have minions in there yet. I think this is a little bit later on, but then this looks like the key fight here for Resurgence. They actually were picked off early, but guess what? Linky is still available, and Zaze is still able to kite back the fight, but even then, Tamago was able to finally land a stun.
I mean, even though TMG managed to get all of these almost aces, the mere fact that RSG made sure that the waves are managed properly enabled for them to get back into the game.
All right, so the mission here from Resurgence was to clear out that minion to prevent the core from taking enhanced damage. Instead, though, they try and go underneath the tower and dive Linky. Again, we talk about this Tulin having that blink. He has the mobility to survive, and you're wasting time at that point. It's just getting too gutsy with the play. Here, right here, Linky still somehow alive. Look at the shields that are put on top of him. Still able to kite on back, and then the Flash tries to dive on in, but guess what? Zaze just guns him down.
I think the reason why TMG was so confident was the mere fact this was a 4v5. I believe BBTY picked off LCC2 because LCC2 wanted to create an impact and get a pick off onto the Valheim, but bam, there we go. 2 people left.
Look at the burst damage coming on Zay. It's just way too much. This guy on this Linus has been doing so much. I remember earlier on, he was under attack by BBT1 and that Valheim. He still managed to get a kill onto his Valheim when he was so low on HP.
Yeah, and honestly, this game could have continued on if that ultimate animation actually went on through, because the knockup could have actually survived. Could have helped keep the teammate alive for Tamago, and then they could have at least tried to fight the 2v3 or even a 2v2, because I think they would have got a kill. But Zaze, I don't blame it, was able to position well during the fights, had a lot of shields on top of them, of course, but if you're going 13-3-6, you're carrying the team, that's all you need to do.
I'm just mind blown right now because there was such importance on the Lindis pick. TMG had blue side and decided to prioritize the Valheim pick rather than the Lindis.
That's what I'm trying to say. You have the pick first. Why not pick Lindis first? And you've seen so many times, countless of times, every single match throughout the whole tournament. First pick Lindis wins.
I just have a feeling they were confident enough
Yeah.
to counter the Lindis composition coming from RSG.
Well, no, we even saw that during the draft there, is like they didn't prioritize the Lindis immediately.
Yes.
Once you show that Valheim, again, they decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and go toe-to-toe with the Violet, and now we start to see what our finals are looking like tomorrow.
Yeah, Resurgence taking down Tamago, which means Resurgence will face a Monster Shield in tomorrow's match. And the winner of that match, obviously, faces Alpha X, the team that would dominate this series so far. That will be our biggest match tomorrow, and I think we have a great setup for that. We have awesome teams, we have great team fights, so really exciting times ahead. But it could be Resurgence or it could be Monster Shield. If Monster Shield wins, they would face Alpha X once again, just like they did today.
And honestly, I do think Monster Shield could take that series after they have a little bit of a time to review the playstyle, because we saw in Game 2 it was chaotic. There was opportunities for them to take the win, but unfortunately they were just a little too late, usually a second or two behind the decision making they needed to in order to take that game.
Potential is there, but potentially we also know it's not enough. You need to play it out. You need to make sure that it works and that it has an impact on the game. Just like what you call the slightly messy game that we saw. We saw great fights, great action. That is what Arena of Valor is all about. I said exciting times up ahead. That's not just for Arena of Valor tomorrow, that's also for today. So if you're up for more mobile action, then stay with us, because we've got Matt Andrews and his awesome talent crew following right after with Dota 2. If you want to see that, stay with us after the break.
Don't let the leg monster stand in the way of you and your games. Defeat it with Sync